We often imagine the Middle Ages as a time of filthy streets, foul smells, and people who rarely bathed. And while that's partly true, the real story is far stranger and far more disturbing. Because in medieval Europe, the fear of taking a bath wasn't just about laziness or lack of water. It was about sin, sickness, and even death. In the early Middle Ages, public bathhouses were a common feature. Steamy wooden rooms where men and women sometimes bathed together, scrubbed their skin, and relaxed in hot water drawn from nearby wells or rivers. At first, these baths were social places, a chance to wash away the dirt of the week, but they were also places of temptation. Church leaders began to warn that a bathhouse could wash away more than dirt. It could wash away one's morals. By the 14th century, the warnings turned darker. The Black Death, a plague that wiped out nearly half of Europe's population, changed everything. Doctors and priests began claiming that hot water opened the pores, letting in dangerous miasmas, invisible, bad air they believed carried the plague. To bathe, they said, was to open the door for death itself. People were told to keep their skin sealed with the natural oils and dirt their bodies produced, a grim, sticky layer they thought might protect them from disease. But fear of disease wasn't the only reason. The church had long associated nakedness with sin. Priests preached that to undress outside of marital duty was to invite the devil into your soul. Bathhouses became linked to prostitution, lust, and moral decay. Some were even shut down entirely, their steaming rooms abandoned, their tubs left to rot. Those who still bathed did so rarely, often on a doctor's orders. A wealthy merchant might take one bath a month, perhaps scented with herbs like rosemary or lavender, not for cleanliness, but to balance the humors in the body. For the poor, water was often too cold, too dirty, or too far away. A wooden bucket hauled from a well would be used for cooking, washing clothes, and maybe, if you were lucky, wiping your face. Even royalty avoided the tub. Queen Isabella of Castile famously bathed just twice in her entire life, once at birth and once on her wedding day, and she was proud of it. Kings and nobles used perfumes, scented gloves, and layers of heavy clothing to mask the stench of their unwashed bodies. The smell of a nobleman's court was so strong that foreign visitors often wrote about it in their diaries. Instead of washing the whole body, people turned to dry cleaning themselves, rubbing with linen cloths, combing the hair to remove lice, or applying powders made from crushed flowers or ground herbs. But these powders didn't remove the dirt, they simply covered it until the layers of sweat, oil, and perfume became their kind of armor. By the late Middle Ages, the fear of water was deeply rooted in daily life. Parents warned children that a bath could make them sick. Doctors recommended washing only the hands and face, and even then, with caution. Full immersion was rare, and when it happened, it was often after a long illness, in a desperate attempt to cleanse the humors. Of course, there were exceptions. Some monasteries kept themselves clean as part of their discipline, and certain cities like Florence maintained public baths longer than others. But for most of Europe, centuries of disease, religion, and superstition made the idea of a warm bath not a luxury, but a dangerous gamble. In the modern world, we see soap and hot water as basic hygiene. In the medieval mind, those same things could invite sickness, shame, and sin. It's a reminder that what we consider clean and dirty has always been shaped by the fears and beliefs of the time. And in the Middle Ages, those fears ran deeper than the dirt on their skin.